Hi, welcome to our video for all school staff. We hope this video will provide some helpful information to support the children and young people in your school with body image. We've provided opportunities throughout for you to pause the video and discuss how the information shared might relate to your specific setting.
Before we get into the first activity, allow us to introduce ourselves. Our names are Sarah Warren
And Kate Patterson.
We work for the mental health support team and we work in schools to support children with their well-being. We work from an early intervention approach, supporting schools and young people individually to improve well-being and address any emerging mild to moderate mental health difficulties.
In this video, we'll be covering the following topics. What do we mean by body image concerns and the appearance ideal? Where does this perceived ideal come from? How does this impact on our children and young people? As school staff, how can we model positive body image attitudes? And what else can schools do to support young people to develop a positive body image and promote their self-esteem? Where can you access further support or signposting? And how to support the delivery of the children's body image video.
Before we start, we want to acknowledge that body image is something that we all have, and when we are talking about how things impact young people, we as adults are not immune to that. We don't know the backgrounds of the people watching this video, and it is possible that some of the topics may be difficult for some of you. Please be aware of this and refer to the signposting at the end of the video if you feel you need any further information or support. We also want to say that, although the final section is specifically for how to use the video that's aimed at young people, all of the content in this video will support you to deliver that workshop, and we will reference the young people's video throughout. We would advocate everyone taking a moment to watch this video as, like many things, body image ideals is something we were all exposed to and could impact on all of us. We can also all play our part to try to change the message people hear about body image.
We'd like you to think about what springs to mind when you're asked, what does the perfect woman look like? And what does the perfect man look like? If you're watching this video as a group, you may want to stop the video now and pool ideas for a few minutes. Some of the things that you may have come up with might include, for women, tall, skinny, curvy, slim, toned, clear skin, shiny hair, a big bum, perfect hair, beach hair, young, and many more. For men, it might have been things like tall or muscly, six-pack, short hair or maybe long hair, thick hair, slender, athletic, clear skin, a good jawline, bearded. The ideas of the perfect man or woman are what's known as the appearance ideal. The fact that we can ask this question, and many of you will have an image spring to mind, or a person, potentially someone famous, suggests there is an appearance ideal. The appearance ideal can be defined as the way society tells us is the ideal or best way to look at a certain point in time. As you likely noticed, the problem with the list we came up with is that it's highly unrealistic and can impact heavily on young people's and adults' body image and self-esteem. In 2020, a survey of 7,878 people run by the UK Government Women and Equality Committee found that 65% of under 18s thought there was an ideal body type, compared with 45% of adults. Women, people with a disability, and transgender people were at higher risk of experiencing negative emotions around their appearance. But we know from experience working with young people that it's also a growing concern amongst boys and men. The study also found that under 18s want to learn more about body image in school. 23% of young people said that they had learned about fostering a positive body image at school, but 78% of young people want to learn more about positive body image at school.
Where it comes from. This unrealistic standard is pushed on all of us from a range of sources, many of which young people are exposed to from an early age. As the Mental Health Foundation website states, these include social media, influencers, TV and films, advertising, the beauty and wellness industries, the diet industries, celebrities, sports personalities, family members, friends, and other adults they interact with. Are there any others that you can think that you've heard young people talk about? We'd just like you to spend a minute thinking about where you have got messages about body image from. Perhaps think about how often you may hear these messages in your everyday life and where you hear these messages. It may have become such a norm that we almost don't notice it. Perhaps think about how many times you hear people in your life mention eating or exercise related to getting closer to an appearance ideal. Now let's take a look at where young people report they get ideas or worries about body image from.
These studies found that the largest influences on young people that affected how they felt about their appearance was friends and social media, both reported at 40% overall. Other external influences from the media, including TV, adverts, and celebrities, were also commonly reported. A significant amount of young people reported that appearance was a key focus of bullying they'd experienced, with 54% saying that appearance-based bullying had started by age 10, and 40% reported that they experienced that bullying at least once a week. Another significant influence is family, with 21% of boys and 37% of girls agreeing that things families said caused them to worry about their body image.
How body image concerns affect young people. We know from recent studies in Devon that body image concerns are impacting on young people's mental health and self-esteem from an early age. A recent study in Devon suggests that 52% of young people aged 11 to 16 often worry about how they look, with some other reviews from the Mental Health Foundation, including examples for children as young as 3 and 4 years old. In Devon, the study found that 13% of boys and 18% of girls in year 4 and 6 said that they felt quite unhappy or very unhappy with how they look. This was highest in year 6 girls at 22%. In years 8 and 10, 19% of boys and 43% of girls said how they feel about their body and appearance often or always negatively impacts their mood. This was highest in year 10 girls at 51%. The impact of these worries can be significant, not only on the young people's self-esteem, but on their social interactions, their engagement with sports and other hobbies, their physical health, and their vulnerability to other mental health difficulties. In one of the studies of young people in year 8 and 10, 1 in 10 boys and nearly 3 in 10 girls said that they often or always avoid doing the activities they would like to do because they are worried about how they look. This was highest in year 10 girls at nearly a third. 18% of girls overall indicated that not being comfortable with how they look prevented them from participating in physical activity and movement.
A 2023 report by the Health and Social Care Committee found that 80% of respondents to their survey agreed or strongly agreed that my perception of my body image had a negative impact on my mental health. The same report evidenced a link between poor body image and several mental health difficulties, including anxiety, depression, suicidality, and development of an eating disorder. Another study by Be Real demonstrated the link between risk-taking behaviours and mental health problems, with 36% of UK adolescents surveyed reporting that they would do whatever it took to look good, and 57% saying they had considered going on a diet, and some saying they had considered cosmetic surgery. Among secondary school boys, 10% said they would consider taking steroids to achieve their goals. It's clear that the message we hear from a young age about body image can impact significantly on our mental health and well-being, and often stick with us long into adulthood.
The information we've shared on this slide comes from a study of nearly 8,000 adults undertaken by the UK government. As we can see from the graph, some people felt positively about their appearance in this survey, and we know that some young people do as well. There were also a lot of negative feelings around appearance expressed in this study, with anxiety and shame being cited in greater numbers than the positive emotions reported. All of these statistics show us that a number of young people in our schools are likely to be experiencing these concerns, perhaps even in early years of primary school. We also know that the impact of negative body image can be far-reaching. It's important, therefore, that we are aware of how these issues may be affecting young people so we can educate young people and implement strategies to reduce the likelihood of body image difficulties escalating, and to support young people in developing a positive body image and increased self-esteem. Take some time now to pause the video and discuss the following. How might you see body image difficulties show up in your schools and your classrooms? What do you hear or notice from your students? Are there any hotspots that you notice? Make a note of any areas where there may be a need to specifically target these difficulties.
As school staff, how can we model positive body image? Firstly, we want to acknowledge that all school staff do an amazing job, and we understand that there are a lot of pressures on schools and school staff to support their pupils on a wide range of issues. We're very aware that some of you may already be doing several of the things we'll suggest, if not all of them in some capacity. However, we hope that the tips we'll share in this video, and having some reflective space to discuss ideas as a team, will help you to feel more equipped around the issue of body image concerns and support your understanding about how to model positive body image to the young people you interact with every day. In contrast to the appearance ideal, the healthy ideal is about helping young people to value the things that their bodies can do to support them. It's important for all of us to be healthy, to stay as well as we can, so we should all aspire to the healthy ideal. This might focus more on finding forms of movement that feel good for our body and mind, cultivating a positive relationship with food, and appreciating the things our body allows us to do, as opposed to focusing solely on how our body looks. Being slim, skinny, or muscly doesn't necessarily mean we are healthy. We've all heard stories of models not eating properly, celebrities having eating disorders, and sports people taking drugs to maintain an ideal body. So the price some people pay to try and maintain the appearance ideal can be far from healthy. We've also heard stories of famous people who seem to have it all from the way they present themselves on social media, suffering from depression and breakdowns. There's a really good clip from a BBC radio interview with Jamila Jamil that illustrates how the images presented about famous people in the media can often be far from the truth. In the clip, she discusses how images of her when she was struggling with anorexia and mental health were presented much more positively by the media because she was skinny. Whereas images where she'd gained weight were presented negatively, despite the reality that she was feeling much healthier and more satisfied with her life during those times. We've included the link to the clip in the additional resources and signposting pack.
Recognising this difference and supporting young people to take action and make decisions based on the healthy ideal can be an important part of improving body image. It's highly likely that as a school and as individual staff members, you already include several strategies and curriculum topics that focus on this as part of your existing approach to well-being. For example, providing opportunities to learn about the benefits of a balanced, healthy diet and having this reflected in school lunch offerings. Providing opportunities for movement that focus on fun and how it makes our bodies feel, not on achieving a certain body type. Taking breaks outside during the day and engaging with nature where possible. Learning about the importance of sleep for our overall health and well-being, including opportunities in the school day for creativity, mindfulness and social connection. These are all examples of things that support a young person's physical and mental health. By creating an environment where those things are valued and encouraged, we can support young people to develop an understanding and a daily practice of healthy habits. It can be helpful to bring these activities into our consciousness and remember how important these things are and how important our use of language can be around these activities. One of the exercises that we've included in the workshop video was to discuss with young people about what our bodies can do. We might think about how our legs are strong, can help us run across the football field, how our eyes can catch our friends when they're nervous so they know we're supporting them, or how our arms can give our teammates hugs and high fives when we win the class project competition.
Tip 2. Modelling the healthy ideal and a positive body image through our own behaviours and language. As we've seen in the earlier section about where ideas about the appearance ideal come from, children are influenced by the behaviours and language that the adults around them use. This means that as a trusted adult in these young people's lives, you have the ability to positively impact how they see their own body image. This is not always easy, as we've all been subject to similar messages about body image, so it can be a useful starting point to reflect on how the appearance ideal shows up in our own lives. For example, in your day, you may hear people talking about wanting to lose weight, tone up, glam up, put their face on, exercise, or build muscle. All of these comments may suggest that we need to look a certain way, perhaps to be happy, to be valued or appreciated by others, or to have a good time when we go out or just in life. If you'd like to, take a moment to reflect on a comment you might have heard recently or in the past that had a knock-on effect on how you viewed your own or others' bodies.
Often, many of us say or hear these things without noticing them because appearance ideal statements can become such an established norm within a culture that they're rarely questioned or challenged. The statistics that we shared earlier demonstrate that young people can hear this and internalise the message that we have to put a lot of work into our bodies looking a particular way in order to feel happy and be successful. Being mindful of the language we use relating to body image can therefore be a powerful way that we can support young people to shift their focus from the appearance ideal to the healthy ideal. Instead of connecting exercise and food to our appearance, we can use language that highlights the health benefits, both mental and physical, of moving our bodies. And we can explore the importance of a balanced and nutritious diet to fuel our bodies to do the things we love. In practice, that might look like some of these simple shifts.
Instead of saying, I put on a few pounds this Christmas, I need to lose a few, so I'll join a gym, we could say, I feel stronger and more energised when I go to the gym, so I'm going to try and do more of that this year.
Instead of saying, oh, I shouldn't, I'm on a diet and I don't want to be naughty, when offered some cake, instead we could simply say, no thank you, or thank you, I'll just have a small portion. It's of course still perfectly okay to make food choices that suit you, but we can be mindful of our language to avoid attaching moral value to food, such as good foods and bad foods.
Instead of saying, I need to make sure I get my steps in every day this week so that I can wear a swimsuit at the weekend, we could try saying, I'm aiming to walk 10,000 steps every day this week because my body feels so much healthier when I've had some movement in my day and some time outside.
Similarly, if we hear a young person making comments that support the appearance ideal, we can try to challenge these and help them shift their focus to the healthy ideal instead.
Think about how you could challenge some of these statements to help the young person think about the healthy ideal instead. I'm sure I'd be popular if I lost a bit more weight or looked better. I have to get up at 5 a.m. to have time to do my makeup so I look good for school. I can't meet up with my friends this week because I need to go to the gym every night so I can get to my goal size. Pause the video for a few minutes to talk about this in pairs, or to think about it individually if you prefer. Can you identify one example of where you might be maintaining the narrative of the appearance ideal, either through your behaviours or your language? Often it's the language we use about ourselves rather than others. and choose one action to commit to changing in order to model positive body image to the young people you interact with. What else can schools do to support young people to develop a positive body image and promote their self-esteem? Tip 1. Teach and support critical thinking. Encourage young people to question the information they're presented with in the media and online. This is probably something you encourage already, as it's an important skill for young people in many areas of day-to-day and online life. With respect to body image, it's about thinking about where the message is coming from, who benefits from it, and how realistic it is. We know that the majority of celebrities do not post the first photo they take, and that they're likely using lighting, makeup, angles, personal trainers, cosmetic surgery, expensive products, and directors, and the rest, to achieve the results that they broadcast. They may not manage their own accounts. The use of AI is adding to this, with live video editing often making this harder for young people to detect. And young people can also now use AI, as a lot of phones or apps offer this in real time, so the images we see of our friends and family are often edited in some way. Highlighting this to young people and supporting them to think critically about the content they see can support them to recognise the unrealistic nature of the standards they're trying to live up to. Dove have some fantastic videos and other resources that help to highlight this point, which you can find on their website or YouTube channel, and which we've shared in the resource pack.
We've included an exercise about critical thinking in our video for young people, where we encourage them to think about the following questions. Are the messages or images we see realistic? Do they show us the whole picture or the whole story? Who is posting it and why? Are they qualified to give me this information? Who's making money from this? Are they giving us the message that we are not good enough first, such as giving us a problem, in order to then sell us something to solve that problem? Like dull, lifeless hair, this shampoo, hairdryer, curler product will solve this. We also ask young people to think about if they may have compared themselves to someone on an advert, TV or social media, and if critical thinking may have helped them. Take a moment now to reflect on that for yourself. How could critical thinking have helped you to shift your focus?
Tip 2. Encourage self-esteem and confidence in other areas. We know that body image concerns can strongly affect a young person's self-esteem, and social media and selfie age often magnifies the focus on appearance. There's more evidence emerging that social media has a huge impact on young people's body image, partly because of the messages it gives, but also because of the amount of access people have to it. Some young people spend a huge amount of time on social media, so depending what they watch, the message they receive about body image is being reinforced many, many, many times each day. Supporting young people to engage in their hobbies, to explore their strengths, and then recognise the many amazing qualities they have can go a long way to countering negative messages they may be hearing, or telling themselves, about the way that they look. We've provided a couple of exercises in the video for young people to explore this further, focusing on what their bodies can do, what they value in the people they care about, and recognising their own strengths. We're sure that you will already have countless opportunities built into your school days when young people can build their self-esteem. From encouraging them to take part in extracurricular activities, to leadership roles or opportunities for responsibility, to celebrations of progress and effort, to positive feedback in their school reports. For young people who might be struggling with their body image, all of these and many more can be particularly important opportunities to help them to build their self-esteem and promote confidence, not just in their bodies, but in the skills, talents, and qualities that make them who they are.
Tip 3. Use the power of praise. It can also be helpful to think about how we can adapt the praise we give young people to support their self-esteem in areas other than their appearance. For example, saying you're very smartly dressed today is something a child can change, whereas you look pretty is about their looks. Ideally, we can try not to comment on appearance at all and give praise and compliment that are based on other qualities. This can help send the message to young people that the other aspects of their personality are far more important and more valued than the way they look. You probably already do this on a daily basis as you're working with children in a school, so we won't spend time exploring that here. But it can just be helpful to remind ourselves that children pay attention to the way that we praise and compliment others, including other adults too. Many of us will often comment on someone's appearance in order to give compliments, rather than on something about them, and we may also comment on our own appearance in a very negative way. As mentioned earlier, children hear what we say to each other as adults and use that to learn. Take a moment to reflect on how often you may compliment someone on looking great, and if you ever offer an excuse for how you or part of you looks.
This is another exercise that we asked the young people to think about on the children's video, offering praise and accepting compliments. We suggest they offer praise or a compliment about something other than appearance. We also suggest they practice accepting a compliment by saying thank you and nothing else. Some of us, perhaps all of us, will sometimes or often deflect compliments. Think about if you ever do this. By accepting a compliment by just saying thank you, we can practice accepting the praise and not discounting it. By praising the things we have control over and accepting that compliment, we can develop stronger self-esteem. You're all used to giving praise and feedback to children in your role. If you're watching this video as a group, perhaps take a minute now to give some praise or a compliment to another staff member in the room and accept their praise or compliment with a thank you. If you're not watching this with others, try it out the next time you can. Notice how it feels. Over to you. Now that we've discussed a range of ways you can support young people to challenge the appearance ideal and promote positive body image, you may want to pause the video and discuss which of these you might find most useful in your setting. Which ones could you implement, and how?
If you would like further information about body image or how to respond to concerns from young people about their well-being, you may find the following resources helpful.
How to support the delivery of the children's body image video. We hope you found the overview and tips in this video helpful for developing and revisiting your awareness of body image difficulties and the appearance ideal, and in feeling more confident and equipped to deliver a lesson on this topic. Throughout this video, we have mentioned some of the things we've talked about in the young person's video. We'll now run through a brief overview of that and address some questions which may come up.
The workshop is in a video format and is designed so the content is delivered for you, and you can then pause the video where indicated to run the exercises. These have been suggested by us to complement the video. The workshop, including tasks, should run for approximately 45 minutes to an hour. It is aimed at school years 5 to 8.
We recognise that is a big age range, and the speed which children will do tasks and their ability level may vary significantly across these year groups. We've therefore suggested a number of tasks on the video and added extra tasks to the worksheets. This is designed to give you, as the person or people who know your class best, the flexibility to adapt the workshop as you see fit. It may be that you do more of the tasks and spread the work over several lessons, or revisit some of the additional tasks in a subsequent lesson if you feel they would be helpful for your class.
Some of the activities can be written tasks or can be whole class feedback, led and supported by the teacher and other class staff. For each task, we have provided a worksheet to help structure the activity and have suggested a time frame. Again, depending on the age, group size and the engagement levels of your class, you may like to adapt this.
As you will see, the young person's video covers the following topics: how amazing our bodies are and some things we can do to appreciate this, what we mean by body image and the appearance ideal, how we can challenge negative thoughts or unkind comments about our bodies, how we can help ourselves and others to feel positive about our bodies. Within these headings, we mirror some of the content that you've seen in today's video about the appearance ideal and where it comes from, as well as ways young people can help themselves and others by thinking critically about what they see, recognizing and challenging negative thoughts about themselves, developing their self-esteem, and being kind to themselves and others. We've delivered the workshop in person, and we would like to mention a few things that we found may be helpful.
Some of the children had positive or neutral body image already. This is to be celebrated. We can acknowledge that not all young people recognise how amazing their bodies are, so those that already have positive body image can participate in the workshop to see if they can learn anything new about the appearance ideal, and they may find the sections that talk about how to help others useful.
For some young people, some of the discussions may bring up their own worries about body image, or perhaps raise concerns about bullying or unkind comments from others. We would suggest that the class are reminded of being respectful to one another, perhaps using a shared contract for the session, and that space is provided for young people to raise any concerns after the workshop with a trusted member of staff who can then follow any safeguarding or wellbeing policy needed.
Confidence in delivering this topic. We recognise that not all teachers and school staff will feel confident discussing this topic and may have worries that they don't have enough information to deliver this workshop, or maybe worry about misusing language. We hope the overview we've provided in this video is helpful for this. The workshop is structured with different sections and corresponding activities to help you feel confident in supporting the exercises. We have also got a teacher's guide to go with the worksheet exercises to help, which includes examples of feedback and additional prompts to help get the discussion started if needed. We have also included links to some clips and further resources which may help you if you want to explore any of the topics in more detail.
Thank you so much for listening and joining in with this video. We hope you found it helpful and that the children's video opens up some useful discussions with the young people at your school. If you are still here and watching, we finished the children's video with a short mindfulness activity. We're going to share it now for you to do too, if you would like to give it a try before doing it with the young people in your class.
This 3-step breathing space is a brief mindfulness practice designed to help you reconnect with the present moment, especially when feeling overwhelmed or distressed. It involves 3 stages: awareness of experience, focus on the breath, and expansion of awareness. This practice can be done anywhere, anytime, and with eyes open or closed. We would like to invite you now to either close your eyes or lower your gaze so you don't get distracted. Take a moment to notice what's happening to your mind and body. Try to do this without judgment, without trying to change anything. Acknowledge any thoughts, feelings, or physical sensations that are present. You can label these experiences to create some distance from them. For example, thinking, feeling anxious, tension in my shoulders. Gently shift your attention to your breath. Notice the physical sensations of breathing, such as the rise and fall of your abdomen or the air moving in and out of your nostrils. If your mind wanders, gently redirect the attention back to your breath. Now, broaden your awareness to include the whole body, posture, and facial expression. Notice the sensations of your body sitting or standing, including any pressure or temperature changes. Finally, expand your awareness to include the surrounding environment, the sounds you can hear, the space around you. We hope you found this helpful. The 3-step breathing space can be used as a pit stop throughout the day, allowing you to pause, reconnect with yourself, and return to your activities with greater presence and clarity.